So when you're trying to do an effective serve, you really want to start between, midway from the service line. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it sounds like a plane or something. Hi guys, Sandy from the Paddle School here. In this video today, we're going to talk about the angle of your serve and how you can make it difficult for your opponents, but also dispel some of the myths that I often hear students talking about when they're doing the serve. So this will hopefully make you better at the positioning and the accuracy of your serving. So before we talk about the best placement for your serve, I just want to know, let me know down in the comments what you find is your most successful serve, because some players have a kind of area on the court that they're really successful, or a type of spin that they find really successful against their opponents, and I'm always interested to know what the players find. So let me know down in the comments what works for you. So before we go into the positioning on the court, I just want to explain a little bit about the objective of these tutorials. Obviously, we're wanting you to play at a higher level. So if something works at a beginner level, it might not work at an intermediate level, and the same with intermediate level and above. So if you've got a type of serve that works really well as a beginner, that same serve might not be as effective at a higher level. So here, when we're talking about positioning, speed, angle, placement of the serve, we're trying to prepare you for that higher level, yeah? And so that's why we see at the World Padel Tour level, their serves are very different and very kind of almost basic, because they're point starters and the returners are so good. So it differs as we go up the level, but the idea is that we're trying to prepare you for better performance. So one of the most common myths for the paddle serve is that players feel like they get a much better angle in at the glass from wider on the court. And this is something that is a problem, as you go up in level, because the returners, are better and more accurate. At a beginner level, this might work because you can serve and you serve into the glass and the opponent really struggles with this glass. But as you improve your level, it's going to be more difficult. Firstly, because there's a bigger space down the middle of the court for the returner to hit into. But also, when you serve from a wider angle, that means on the return that the ball will actually bounce out wider from the glass, making it easier for your opponents to return, especially for those that are slightly more competent with the side glass. Another big myth with the serve is that players feel like they need to hit it really hard in order to be successful. And usually those are combined, that they stand wide on the court and they hit a really fast serve into that glass. And again, at the beginner level, that might be successful, but the harder you hit into the glass, the more it will rebound away from the glass and therefore again be easier for your opponent. So actually, you want to really try and control that speed of your serve so that the ball doesn't come too far away from the glass. So when you want to hit a really good serve, you want to start midway from the center line to the glass. This is usually a good position here, especially if you're playing in a kind of normal paddle formation as opposed to Australian formation. And from here, you want to, if you're going to hit into the glass, hit with a speed that is fast enough that your opponent cannot come in and take it before the glass, but also slow enough that you can be accurate and you can hit, this right part of the court. Because the biggest difficulty for the returner is the decision of playing before the glass and after the glass. So if you are one of those servers that stands wide and you hit fast, that might work at a beginner level, but when you get up through higher levels, you want to actually try and implement some of the things we've talked about here. Another really common problem is that players also try and hit so much kind of funky spin on the ball, and that's something that they really just need to try and keep the action as simple as possible. So on this side, I'm going to put a video on how you can serve like the pros and keeping those simple 5 steps process to make you a better server.